evening and welcome to Have I Got News for You. I'm Roy Wood Jr. and I usually host the American version of this show, but I'm here this week seeking asylum. In the news this week, outside of Wendy's in San Francisco, there's an embarrassing moment as two people realize they're both up for the same job. In Washington, one man learns his work nemesis won't get the promotion she was hoping for. And at UK border checks, one American chicken importer denies their birds have been injected with steroids. On Ian's team tonight, a comedian who once took a trip to Las Vegas and says she was blown away by America's sunny positivity. Wow, that trip must have been a long time ago. Please welcome Roisin Conaty. On Paul's team tonight, an author and broadcaster who was awarded a world record for naming the most capital cities in a minute. Impressive. Most Americans wouldn't even know that England was the capital of London. Please welcome Richard Osman. We begin with the bigger news stories of the week. Ian and Roisin, have a look at this.
Ooh.
Oh, village people, and there's the idiot. There's the loser. Well, this is the shock news to everyone who'd been telling us for weeks it was neck and neck, and it wasn't at all.
No.
Right, you're deported. There's the face of a man who's won without cheating.
Yeah.
And he couldn't believe it.
Yes, that's correct. That is the historic U.S. election, which has put the first woman in the White... Hang on. Let me redo that. The historic U.S. election, which has put the first convicted felon in the White House.
Yeah. I like the idea that last time he complained, but this time it wasn't rigged.
No.
It's
Funny, though, because the Democrats obviously didn't bother to rig it this time.
Yeah, nice and smooth.
I'd like to see the Democrats' version of storming the Capitol, though.
Yeah.
They would everyone would have little wicker baskets. There'll all be listening to podcasts on the way.
Make sure you pack a lunch.
The American way of dealing with Trump is like, he obviously should have been disqualified for January 6th, but instead they let him run and just put a ring of steel around the Capitol. And that's why they deal with gun control. Like, they have shootings in schools. They could get rid of guns, but they just put checkpoints in schools. It's mad.
They're going to do that. They're going to get rid of schools. That's the problem.
In the schools.
That's the problem.
Now, what has the press reaction been like?
I don't know. I haven't seen a paper for years. Do you know?
Largely, the Tory press were thrilled because they'd hoped it was going to be Trump. Their headlines like, Trump gives hope to the Conservative Party. And so there's a feeling that the right will triumph again everywhere and possibly here.
I think German newspaper Die Zeit best summed it up. Why do the polls always get it so wrong?
It's not the polls that are the problem, it's the Americans, Roy.
Maybe people are reluctant to say how they're going to vote if they're sort of going to vote for Trump. They don't want to admit it in public, but then go ahead and vote in private. I don't know.
But we always think pollsters don't bring their own prejudices to the polls. They're somehow magically independent. They're not. And repeatedly, I mean, we saw it in Brexit, and we've had it lots of times. People sort of believe what they want to.
And who they asked as well, it's like who they... People keep saying shy fascists, and I don't know... Shy fascists?
Yeah.
Tiptoeing into Czechoslovakia. Look at me, I'm a shy fascist.
A lot of people seem reluctant to admit they supported Trump. Even Republicans in the state of Georgia claim to not be that impressed with the candidate in the build-up to the election. Have a look at this.
Who are you going to vote for?
The right person.
Well, who do you think the right person
It won't
is?
be Donald Trump.
Okay, tell me why.
Last time you saw him talking, did you watch his lips?
Uh-huh.
Were they moving?
Uh-huh.
He's lying.
That man was lying. You could just tell by the way he was talking. He's got a fresh Klan robe in the closet. Neatly pressed.
We've got slightly different libel laws over here. Just mentioning it early.
No.
I'll visit you.
He didn't know, no, No, to be fair, Roy didn't say he was a member of the Ku Klux Klan. He just said he liked the uniform.
Indeed.
Okay, then let me take it back. I guarantee you that man has a white sheet in his house that he may or may not wear at night to scare minorities. There was also a lot of political heroes in the American election. How did Peanut here become a symbol of Republican criticism of the government? I can guarantee you that squirrel got a white sheet in his closet.
You can see it in his eyes.
I don't like that hat.
You're safe there.
Well, Peanut the squirrel, there was a suggestion that he might have rabies, and you can only test for rabies once the animal's dead, apparently, so they killed him and then said, no, he hasn't got rabies. He's a squirrel back in a jiffy bag.
He was living in a house with a man.
Oh, was it? Well, that's,
Yeah.
listen, you
Legally.
know, I'm not judging.
Illegally. Yeah, they were together.
Yeah,
Not like
right,
that.
right.
That's all right.
Who knows?
Who knows?
He got rabies somehow.
Yeah. Bury his nuts every autumn.
Peanut was living in a house, and according to the New York Times, a warrant was issued to seize him. And when they came to pick him up, he bit somebody involved with the investigation. So they euthanized him to test for rabies, and you're correct, he did not have rabies. But maybe if Peanut the squirrel had just complied with the authorities' orders.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think they'll try this with Prince Andrew when they try and evict him?
What, in case he's got rabies? Worth a go, innit?
Trump won a huge share of independent voters. What is it about Trump that they like?
The last question in all the rallies was, you know, would you like not to be poorer? And that's a fairly binary vote. And in the end, more people thought, yeah.
It's always the question everywhere, isn't it? It's always either, are you poorer, are the dice loaded against you because of your next door neighbour, or are the dice loaded against you because of billionaires? And billionaires in the last few years have been very clever at saying it's your next door neighbour, and that's what Trump has cleverly done. But I think they made 64 billion, the 10 richest people in the world since he got elected. Just in one day, 64 billion. That's Elon Musk, that's Jeff Bezos, that's Gary Lineker, all of them.
Did any of the coverage stand out for you all? I mean, I know it's been a day or two since the election. I know some of the...
We had amazing coverage in Britain.
Did we?
Yeah, we had Boris Johnson on Channel 4.
With Stormy Daniels.
With Stormy Daniels. There's an interesting pairing.
Yeah, at the end he's going, we actually just need one cab at the end of the year, we're fine.
Here he is talking about an issue close to his heart.
The lizard part, if you wanted Trump to win. Is the lizard part back this time round?
Well, look, you know, as I say in my book, Unleashed.
Stop it.
No, wait, no.
Sit down.
Enough. No. There's absolutely nothing you can do to stop it. It's a lie.
Come on, it's so cheap. Put it away.
Well, look here.
Like, I mean, not the book, but I mean, you know.
Here we go.
Unfortunately.
I'm a Library Club member.
Wow.
Oh, what a grubby little div. Oh, my God.
I was literally just about to get mine, but I won't now.
Amazon went big on their election show with Brian Williams. Have a look at what Amazon did.
For the historic night, we have decided to put ourselves in the middle of America. There you go, something close to the middle of the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be a shopping centre in Rugby for us.
Although I have to say, the way they positioned Brian Williams' desk made it seem like he was going to get run over by a truck at some point.
Oh, that's very stressful.
Why are you in the middle of the road, Brian Williams? With Trump's election, what's Keir Starmer rushed to do?
Phoned him.
Bring him up.
Yeah, congratulate him. Well done. To make sure that we keep that special relationship going that only the British are aware of.
Keir tweeted on Wednesday morning, "I know the special relationship will continue to prosper."
Has Dick Van Dyke come into the studio?
I don't know about that sounded Australian, my bad.
He's in the room.
Blimey, maybe Poppins.
Here's Trump acknowledging that special relationship.
He was the big winner of the last election in the UK, and he's a very spectacular man, very highly respected, Nigel Farage.
Oh, he's got that salute right at last.
It's an amazing shot there of Clacton, isn't it?
Who else had to eat some Trump humble pie after Election Day?
Oh, my God.
Oh, David Lammy. He said he was a fascist and he was... What else?
Yeah.
He used the words KKK about
Yes,
him.
he did. That as well. Foreign Secretary David Lammy, who said, if Trump comes to the UK, I will be out protesting in the streets. He's a racist, KKK, and Nazi sympathizer. Wait, I'm sorry. That's from 2017. Let me find the one. Here's what he said this week. Congratulations to Donald Trump on your victory. We look forward to working with you and J.D. Vance. Now, see, that's where you go too far. Nobody's looking forward to working with J.D. Vance. Now, who from the UK did have strong words for Trump?
Liz Truss?
No, not Liz.
Who's that?
No, I don't know. Google her.
It was Lib Dem leader Ed Davey who said, this is a dark, dark day for people around the globe. The world's largest economy and most powerful military will be led by a dangerous, destructive demagogue. Davey completed the statement, then inflated his rubber ring and jumped down a water slide.
Roy, do you understand that punchline?
Oh,
or did you just trust
They showed me the picture of him. And I'm like, that is a policymaker?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Incidentally, what did Putin release this week?
A fragrance?
Elon's Musk.
Elon's Musk, that's a good one.
Yeah, I like that one.
It's called Crimea River.
Oh, that's very good.
Oh, very
Took
nice.
me a minute.
We should brainstorm perfume.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are we doing here?
Well, you know the phone's listening to us. Stop giving away the money for free.
Right. Roy, not only is a phone listening to us, we are literally on television.
What Putin released was the FSB annual calendar, which this year features Putin with his new BFF, President Xi of China. Here they are on the calendar.
I don't know if you heard that, but when you said it, Ian went, oh, yeah. Like it was something that you were anticipating.
The Putin calendar is usually topless.
Oh, it's a shame.
Yeah, and I was hoping, but it's...
Oh, you was hoping like the topless on a horse and not the Vin Diesel Fast and Furious?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the happy news that Donald Trump has accepted the election result. It's estimated that Trump's mass deportation plans could cost around $88 billion, which is still less than what the Democrats spent on booking Beyonce. During his campaign, Trump repeatedly announced his intention to fight what he described as the enemy within, which in his case is cholesterol. Paul and Richard, take a look at this.
Yeah. This is Kemi Badenoch. She's become the new Tory leader, and she was on the Laura Kunsberg show, and she was being questioned, and she said, I'm not here to win a popularity contest. Which seems to be misjudging the job position that she's going to be fighting for in a few years. So she's the new leader of the Conservative Party.
Kemi beat her rival, Robert Jenrick, by 10,000 votes in the election. Now, how did she beat him?
Well, Robert Jenrick is like...
boring?
Yeah, when he's on TV, I always have to check with someone to make sure they're also seeing him. It was like running against a mist.
Yes.
I think that dead squirrel might have beaten him.
Well, nonetheless, his wife was there at the count to support her losing-ass husband and to also supportingly applaud the winner. Take a look.
Very good.
Now, I don't want to get sued because of your laws over here, but is it polite to guess what drug somebody are on?
No, that's all right. You can guess.
Yeah, no, you can do that, and then we will come and visit you.
Yeah.
Kemi's parents were a doctor and an academic, but how, according to her, did she become working class?
Oh, she had a Saturday job somewhere.
McDonald's.
McDonald's, yeah. She got a Saturday job, and then she went working class. When she got in there, it turned her working class. She arrived in a carriage, and then got in there and had a couple of fries. It was all like, hello, love.
That's awfully good. That's better than his chimney.
We'll see about that. I'll try again later.
Americans, I think, have a certain image of British people, right? And I think there's that big Harry Potter thing as well. And it's not helped by the fact that the 5 leading candidates for the Tory party election were called Badenoch, Jenrick, Tugendhat, Cleverly and Stride. All of whom could have been Harry Potter professors.
Yeah. All houses. You can imagine the sorting hat coming out. You're in Badenoch. Oh, no.
The sorting hat in Harry Potter was very creepy.
Yeah, listen,
Good film, but that hat, I didn't like that. I turned away.
I think they've done a book of the film as well.
I'll look into that. What did your Boris Johnson say that Kimmy Badenoch would
He's not
bring?
my Boris Johnson.
Well, I'm sorry for making eye contact with you. What did your Boris Johnson say Kimmy Badenoch would bring to the party?
A couple of crates.
He said she would bring Zing and Zap, which are a couple of girls he met on holiday. And Keir Starmer also said that Kimmy's election as the first black female leader of a major political party was a proud moment in the history of our country, although Labour MP Dawn Butler was a lot less enthused. What did Dawn do?
She accused of being a white person in blackface or something like that?
Yes, it's the fury of the left when someone who's black doesn't vote for Labour. And it made her very, very cross. So she retweeted, I think, someone else.
Yes.
Right.
Although now Elon Musk will sue you for saying tweeted as well, because I think it's X'd.
She X'd. She likes some words on a website. Can I say that legally?
Yeah,
Would that not be getting me sued?
Yeah, you're fine with that.
Shit, y'all be hating so hard. Now, explain to me, if you all can, why the Labour Party has never had a non-white or female leader.
I think they assume they will have the support of minorities who then don't necessarily give them that support. That's what happened in the American election as well. And I think that's a mistake.
I know, and the Tories have had 4 female leaders, 2 non-white leaders. I mean, they've had an awful lot more leaders. I'll give them that, but... but it does seem suspicious.
What do people say is Kimmy Badenoch's flaw?
She can pick a fight in a paper bag with herself.
According to Tim Stanley in The Telegraph...
I don't listen to him, he's an idiot.
Yeah. That's not libelous, that's true.
Yeah, I've got medical records to prove it.
According to Tim Stanley in The Telegraph, she's too confrontational, too aggressive with the media, they say. They don't realize that most male journalists rather like that we're still little boys seeing how far we can wind up Mummy before she gives us a smack.
Do you recognise yourself in that description, Ian?
No.
I do.
Y'all freaky as hell up here. Okay. Now, some news about appalling standards of behavior in your House of Commons.
Yes.
What did Labour MP Steve Witherden do in the chamber to earn a public reprimand?
Oh, he didn't, did he?
Oh.
No, he drank some milk.
Out of what?
Out of a cow.
According to the Mail on Sunday, he was spotted taking a swig from a milk carton by Tory frontbenchers who tipped off the deputy speaker to remind him of the no food or drink rule in the chamber. His rejoinder was that he would not be ashamed of supporting British dairy farmers unlike the last Tory government. Thing.
Wow.
I would not be ashamed.
He accused the Speaker of being lactose intolerant.
Yes. That's the difference between us and America. In America, they try to hang Mike Pence. Here we've got an MP drinking out of a carton of milk. And that makes the headlines.
This is Kimmy Badenoch becoming leader of the Conservative Party. According to The Times, Kimmy Badenoch is the 4th female Tory leader after Margaret Thatcher, Theresa May, and Liz Truss. So whatever she does, she can't ever be the worst. Kimmy Badenoch's first government role was when Boris Johnson made her Junior Minister for Children and Families. A really busy department thanks to him. Yeah, we know about Boris Johnson and the kids. We know about Boris. We call him Stupid Trump. And so to round two, and because I love your quaint little country with its amusing local stories, it's time for the tiny island of news. Fingers on buzzers, teams.
Now, I did see this. It's the M1's anniversary. 65 years. So next year, you'll be able to claim a pension.
That is correct. This is the news that the M1 motorway is 65 years old. Happy birthday, M1! Yeah! Celebrating the birthday of a road. Y'all remember where you were in 1959 when the old M1 got laid out? Ian, where were you in 59?
I wasn't born.
If you say so.
If it's 65, they should let buses use it for free.
How did they celebrate the birth of this road in 1959?
I think the Queen opened it, didn't she?
Yes,
59.
yes.
I seem to remember Pathé black and white imagery of sort of, and here's the Queen opening up the M1, which promises to get people from London to Leeds in no time at all.
Pretty good, pretty good.
That's how you do the accent.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
And here comes Mary Poppins on a broomstick.
Now, that was 1959.
Yes.
How has the M1 changed since it opened 65 years ago?
Extra lanes.
It's got more conservative.
Yeah.
It used to have a 24-hour restaurant at Watford Gap Services, which used to get so rowdy with touring pop stars like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones that Jimi Hendrix mistook it for a nightclub. Here's the Watford Gap. Here's a picture.
To be fair, I think Jimi Hendrix mistook a lot of things for a nightclub.
Yeah.
Would you all like to see one of the original adverts? For
Yes, please.
Oh, yes.
The London-Birmingham motorway, first of its kind in Britain, will open for traffic on November the 2nd, barring unforeseen delays. Its many wonders include, near Luton, a high retaining wall 16 feet wide at the base.
A 16-foot retaining wall outside Luton. Yeah, bitch, we got a road. All right, while we're on the subject of roads,
Yeah.
we're going to play a game called Name That Road.
Oh, fantastic.
great.
Are you ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, here's your first one. Which road links Caththorpe Interchange in Leicestershire with the Port of Felix... What the fuck? With the Port of Felixstowe in Suffolk.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Yeah, so we were distracted
Yeah.
by someone walking out at the thought of a road.
Yeah. Right, you're taking the piss out of the M1, I'm off.
Yep.
Okay.
Americans coming over here, knocking our roads, I'm off.
Tried to say those cities as best I could.
Yeah.
Say them again, Roy, but maybe use our accent.
Imagine Dick Van Dyke were here.
Okay, here's your first one. Which road links the Caththorpe Interchange and Leicestershire with the Port of Felixstowe in Suffolk?
Well, that's a tough question there, Roy. I've got no idea. You better tell us.
It's the A14. God, I love that road. That's my favorite road. Next road.
Next road.
It begins just outside Bedford and passes Hinton in the Hedges and Flyford Flavel and it's way to Upton Snodsbury near Worcester. What words are y'all putting? These are not real places. Y'all are just putting...
I've never heard of them.
You are just putting British syllables together.
Yeah. They're making fun of you.
Oh, I know, and I'm gonna let them. It's fine.
Yeah.
We gave y'all Trump for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
I gotta do something.
Can I take a look at that one?
Yeah, take a look at that one. Give me a shot.
This one.
He fell for it.
Yeah. I think it's the A422.
Yeah.
Points for you.
Yeah.
Next one. Which road starts in Newport, passes through Manchester and Stockton, and ends just outside Cambridge?
Oh, dear me. It's so hard to avoid the phrase, who cares? Is it the... Is it the M62?
It's a trick question. It's Newport, Oregon, Manchester, Delaware, Stockton, Illinois, and Cambridge, Massachusetts. The answer is U.S. Highway 20, the longest road in America. This game is international.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, last one.
Thank God for that.
What's the shortest road in the United Kingdom?
It's only about 10 foot long, and I can't remember what it is.
Close. It's Ebenezer Place in Wick in northern Scotland, which measures 6 feet 9 inches. Just picture, Richard.
Oh.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'7", so I'd certainly cause a blockage.
In other transport news, what's wrong with the Leeds bus station?
Ignore the obvious.
It's £3 now to get a bus.
No, it's not the price, it's the smell.
Oh, yes.
For 2 weeks, people have been complaining that it smells like fish, like there are cows in there, and like a baby's nappy mixed with mini cheddars. I do not know what that means. I don't want to know what that means.
Mini Cheddars was our Prime Minister during the Second World War.
And finally, what record has a runner in Wales recently set? Using a tracker...
High heels. He was in high heels.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gone.
Using a tracker hit the biggest cock and balls in history.
What?
On his tracker thing, he drew an enormous cock and balls.
Using a tracker, Welshman Terry Rosamond set the world record for the largest ever GPS drawing of a penis. Okay. Let's take a look at that penis, please. If this is in any way an accurate description of a penis, you should see a doctor.
Particularly if that measurement's accurate.
This is the news that Britain's oldest motorway, the M1, is 65 years old. According to BBC News, the toilets at the M1's Watford Gap services once attracted the likes of the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, and the Rolling Stones. I wonder whatever could have attracted them. The excellent plumbing, maybe, or the lockable door and the readily available flat surfaces. We'll never know. Meanwhile, one clap for cocaine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, are we putting in an order? Do you want some, Ian?
No, 2 for snuff.
2 for snuff. Whenever I see you clap now, I'm going to think, oh, Ian's on the snuff.
Meanwhile, Leeds bus station has been plagued by a mysterious stench. One passenger who had just arrived there from London said, "I was confused because I've never smelt anything like that." And he just spent 5 hours on a megabus. Fingers on buzzers, teams.
It's the royal family.
Oh. It was on the tip of my tongue.
I recognise it.
Yeah.
This is the story that the King and the Prince of Wales both received large amounts of money through their holdings in the Duchy of Lancaster and the Duchy of Cornwall. They own vast amounts of the country, and lots of people pay rent, but no one knew that it was people like hospitals and schools and the army. And this wasn't very popular.
And that is correct. The NHS has been charged rent by the King. An investigation by the Sunday Times and Channel 4's dispatches revealed that the Duchy of Lancaster charges one London hospital trust £829,000 a year to park ambulances on one of its warehouses.
I would say if they need somewhere to put ambulances, people would pay to have them parked outside their house just as like a form of insurance.
Yeah.
The Duchy of Lancaster also owns the land around the River Mersey in Liverpool, so it makes money off the Mersey ferry. How did Liverpudlians react to the news?
Well...
Just a second, I want you all to acknowledge how hard I rehearsed Liverpudlians. A lot of them had no idea. One woman had this reaction to the news.
Are Liverpudlians aware who is making money from their famous ferry?
I have no idea who owns the foreshore. I believe it's a gentleman from Liverpool. I think his name's Chris.
That was my favourite bit. And just the panic, like when you're at school and you think you need to have an answer. Steve? Someone called Steve?
Now, what's particularly special about the Duchy of Lancaster?
It gets passed by the left-hand side.
Very good.
It doesn't pay any tax.
Yes. It has a special tax status, meaning they pay no capital gains tax or corporation tax on their profits.
Wow.
That's so slick. Now, what has Prince Andrew lost this week?
Dignity? No, he didn't.
That was ages ago.
His allowance. They took away his £1 million allowance.
Yes.
Yes.
So he's got to pay his own rent.
Yes.
A new royal biography has revealed that King Charles has cut off Andrew's $1 million a year allowance.
Not the first thing I'd cut off.
Yeah.
According to the Times, Andrew may now be forced to downsize to grade 2 listed 5-bedroom Frogmore cottage with 2 orangeries. I don't know about y'all, but I need at least 3 orangeries. I can't be living with 2 orangeries like a broke bitch. Why would I ever? In other royal news,
yes.
What went up for sale this week?
The Duchess of Kent. Did you want a bid?
A slice of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's wedding cake that was found under a bed in a suitcase 77 years after the wedding has sold at auction for £2,200. Would you like to see it?
Yeah. I wouldn't like to eat it.
Yes. Here's a picture of the fruit cake holding the slice of wedding cake.
I'd eat it.
Once you start seeing Britain through American eyes, you realise we're in trouble.
This is the news that the royal family are making millions a year from their property empire. Amongst King Charles' properties is a service station, including a fast food outlet. Hey, not my Burger King. King Charles is said to have cut off Prince Andrew's £1 million allowance. Oh, no, the poor man. Now he may actually have to eat at Pizza Express. Time now for the odd one out round. Just one between you this week. They are crows, Sisyphus, a train driver, and a monkey with a keyboard.
Ooh.
I don't know, I just like the crows. The one on the right's brilliant, isn't
it? You want some, mate?
Yeah, you want some.
Yeah.
Leave it out.
Yeah. This seems to be a programme dedicated to authentic Cockney accents.
Yeah. Is it repeating an action endlessly? Sisyphus had to roll this boulder up to the top of the hill.
Yeah.
What's the monkey doing? Sending emails. I'm out of the office. I don't work Tuesdays. Crows. They do the same thing a lot, don't they?
He's not going anywhere with this.
He really is.
OK, boys. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
We've got guests.
Yeah, we've got guests. What sort of impression does it give of our country? We don't know. You better tell us.
Yeah.
Well, his thing is non-stop. He never stops pushing the thing up the hill.
Yeah.
Monkeys can write the works of Shakespeare if there's infinite money.
Given enough time, yeah.
Crows.
Yeah.
Crows hold a grudge.
Yeah, they
for
do.
like 17 years.
Yeah.
And so do train drivers.
Yeah. And so does train drivers. So the odd one out is the crows.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's the crows.
Yeah, of course it's the crows.
They're all involved in something potentially endless, apart from the crows, who can only hold a grudge for 17 years. How did one man in Seattle work out and establish that crows can hold a grudge?
Because he kicked the crow up the arse 17 years ago. And then 17 years later he said, do you remember who kicked you up the arse? Yeah, you did. And that's...
Let's take you back.
That's the worst answer I've ever given in this programme.
In 2006... Professor John Marsloff had been investigating why crows attack people. So in 2006, he briefly captured 7 crows while wearing an ogre mask. Oh. Here he is in the mask. This is the mask he was wearing. Is that a mask or is that man just British? Like, what's up with the teeth? He then went back periodically to the same site to visit the crows while wearing the mask. The crows noticed and remembered him, and cawed aggressively in his direction until this September, exactly 17 years later, when they finally forgave him and the cawing stopped.
And this guy you say is a professor?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they weren't even the same crows.
Ian, what's the deal with Sisyphus?
You can get ointment for it.
He was sentenced to this endless torment because he treated guests very badly by sort of murdering them a lot.
Yeah, he was a king who killed his guests to show how powerful he was and was punished for eternity for violating the sacred laws of hospitality. Travel lodge, you have been warned. What is potentially endless for a train driver?
The Circle Line?
It is very good.
According to the Mail Online, if a line manager interrupts a train driver's break to say hi, they have the right to restart the break from the beginning because any conversation with the boss counts as work.
Yeah, I agree. Why is he coming to say hi? No one's coming to say hi on your break. They're coming to get you to do jobs. Someone comes over and is like, hello. You're like, no.
We start again.
Yeah. I would hang around a boss and just sort of like, and make loads of noises. So eventually they were like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, uh-oh. And I was like, I've got another hour.
What will a monkey with a keyboard never do?
Write the works of Shakespeare.
2 mathematicians in Australia have debunked the infinite monkey theorem.
Oh, have they?
That if a monkey spent enough time at a keyboard, it would eventually be able to reproduce the entire works of Shakespeare.
Ah, well, yeah, right.
They said that the amount of time it would take would be longer than the universe's entire lifespan.
I'm sticking with the monkeys. I think they're going to get it.
Right. He's on his break at the moment.
Yeah, if you speak to him, he deletes the whole of Othello.
Yeah.
How did the Sun newspaper cover this story?
Some pun on monkeys, isn't it? I should think.
The Sun newspaper went for much ado about nothing.
That is actually good.
They're all involved in something potentially endless, apart from the crows who can only hold a grudge for 17 years. According to a new deal signed by Britain's train drivers, their lunch hour can be restarted if a manager even stops to say hello. In theory, a lunch break could go on for 3 or 4 hours. That's unworkable, said French train drivers. That's barely enough time to let the wine breathe. Time now for the Missing Words Round, which this week features as its guest publication, Heritage Tractor Magazine. There's a lot in each issue, but I'll just plow through it. And we'll start with Keith Richards' what before every Rolling Stones gig?
It's brought back from the dead.
Yeah.
I've got a defibrillator with his name on it.
Start me up.
Yeah, yeah.
Keith Richards eats a whole shepherd's pie before every Rolling Stones gig. Keith insists on having a shepherd's pie before every Rolling Stones gig. Stewed, gristly meat covered with a cheesy crust. It's a pretty good description of Keith Richards. Next, visitors to the Vintage Harvesters Open Day in Norfolk were in for a rare treat when Graham what?
Is it sprayed his seed over a 30-metre radius?
While rotating.
Visitors to the Vintage Harvesters Open Day in Norfolk were in for a rare treat when Graham showed off his machinery.
That's what Richard said.
Not far off it.
Machinery.
Yeah.
After the display, the gathered Norfolk crowd gave a rousing round of applause, made all the louder by the fact that everyone there had 12 fingers. Next, if someone turns up at your door brandishing a cucumber, what?
They're trying to scare your cat. Did you see all those videos?
Do you know I missed them?
Yeah.
If someone turns up at your door brandishing a cucumber, don't be surprised. It's more common than you think.
Well, I think that's not right.
Where is this from?
According to a recent survey, the 4th most popular item ordered on Deliveroo was a cucumber. A, just one cucumber. So you're telling me that you weren't doing anything with this cucumber other than eating it? Not 2 or 3 cucumbers. You just ordered 1 cucumber and some lotion, and that's just what I'm supposed to. Okay.
But also, you've ordered it, so why you wouldn't be surprised anyway.
Yeah.
Now that's a nightmare scenario. You're ordering cucumbers and forgetting you've ordered cucumbers. It's like some sort of hell.
Real quick, before we go on, let's just pause for a second. To the Americans watching right now, a cucumber is a type of vegetable, and sometimes you eat vegetables because they're supposed to... never mind. Next, China could be spying on your kitchen by what?
By putting a tap on your sink?
Yeah. Oh, you're grown now, but you'll be buying it in paperback by Christmas.
China could be spying on your kitchen by using an air fryer.
Oh, yes.
Next, Catholic Church tries to woo young people by...
Is it sheer force of habit?
Catholic Church tries to woo young people by saying, do you want to see some puppies?
Catholic Church tries to woo young people by introducing new mascot.
Isn't Jesus enough?
Lastly, ask any American for a British stereotype and they'll say what?
A fondness for democracy.
Ask any American for a British stereotype and they'll say horrible teeth.
What are you saying, Roy? We'll ask you.
We say the food.
The food?
Yeah.
It's bad.
Chips, fish and chips.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that British food is bad. I will say it does not photograph well.
I would agree.
That's the problem. So the final scores are Ian and Roisin have 4 points, and Paul and Richard have 7 points.
Sorry about that.
But before we go, there's just time for the caption competition.
God.
It's like I can only think of a pun. Whenever I do a pun, Richard, whenever I do a pun, the audience just groan.
I think go for it. You can do it.
My head feels a little sore. That was incredibly patronising. Thank you very much indeed.
On which note, we say thank you to our panelists, Ian Hislop and Roisin Connerty, Paul Merton and Richard Osman, and I leave you with news that after an unexpected career change, one woman decides to take up acting and audition for a part in EastEnders. At an election victory party in Florida, one intern manages to slip away from an awkward situation at the last minute. And a Northampton man is delighted he can hear much more clearly after dislodging a stubborn piece of earwax. Good night. up at your door brandishing a cucumber, don't be surprised, it's more common than you think.
Well, I think that's not right.
Where is this from?
According to a recent survey, the 4th most popular item ordered on Deliveroo was a cucumber. Just one cucumber. So you're telling me that you weren't doing anything with this cucumber other than eating it? Not 2 or 3 cucumbers. You just ordered 1 cucumber and some lotion, and that's just what I'm supposed to do. Okay.
But also, you've ordered it, so why you wouldn't be surprised anyway.
Yeah.
Now, that's a nightmare scenario. You're ordering cucumbers and forgetting you've ordered cucumbers. It's like some sort of hell.
Real quick, before we go on, let's just pause for a second. To the Americans watching right now, a cucumber is a type of vegetable, and sometimes you eat vegetables because they're supposed to... Next, China could be spying on your kitchen by what?
By putting a tap on your sink?
Yeah. Oh, you're grown now, but you'll be buying it in paperback by Christmas.
China could be spying on your kitchen by using an air fryer.
Oh, yes.
Next, Catholic Church tries to woo young people by...
Is it sheer force of habit?
Catholic Church tries to woo young people by saying, do you want to see some puppies?
Catholic Church tries to woo young people by introducing new mascot.
Isn't Jesus enough?
Lastly, ask any American for a British stereotype and they'll say what?
A fondness for democracy.
Ask any American for a British stereotype and they'll say horrible teeth.
What are you saying, Roy? We'll ask you.
We say the food.
The food?
Yeah.
It's bad.
Chips, fish and chips.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that British food is bad. I will say it does not photograph well.
I would agree.
That's the problem. So the final scores are Ian and Roisin have 4 points, and Paul and Richard have 7 points.
Oh, no.
Sorry about that.
But before we go, there's just time for the caption competition.
God.
It's like I can only think of a pun. Whenever I do a pun, Richard, whenever I do a pun, the audience just groan.
I think go for it. You can do it.
My head feels a little sore. That was incredibly patronising. Thank you very much.
On which note, we say thank you to our panelists, Ian Hislop and Roisin Connerty, Paul Merton and Richard Osman, and I leave you with news that after an unexpected career change, one woman decides to take up acting and audition for a part in EastEnders. At an election victory party in Florida, one intern manages to slip away from an awkward situation at the last minute. And a Northampton man is delighted he can hear much more clearly after dislodging a stubborn piece of earwax. Good night.